This is Turkey once again, performing in my current and or present role as chief and or head chief of the Stochastic Intelligence Agency, which I came to be chief and or head chief of yesterday, January 20th. So no need to congratulate me, but I am here, as I said before, in my... Oh, look, it's me! Oh, that's me! Yes, that's me. Turkey, performing in my past and or present role, formerly past and or formerly present role, or something like that, of spokesperson for the American Cultural Memory and or Cultural Tradition Complaint Department. But now I have a new job and new duties to perform. And in my role as chief and or head chief of the Stochastic Intelligence Agency, I'm here to discuss the space-time travel communication coordinates for today. And the reason that that's part of my job as the head and or head chief of the Stochastic Intelligence Agency is because space-time travel communication coordinates raise this interesting question. Is this an intentional act of communication or merely an accident? The accident would be formed by the physics of changing those numbers when someone simply wants to view one of a contract in phi through theta's videos. Yes, but if that individual is aware of the fact that these are, in fact, space-time travel communication coordinates and wishes to communicate with a contract in phi through theta, then it is, in fact, intentional act and a form of communication. Now, the indeterminacy between whether it is a phenomenon of mere observation or an intentional act of communication is what makes it stochastic, that is, indeterminate and uncertain. And you could say that this opens up an entirely new, yes, you could say it opens up a new mode of semiotics and communication theory. And in addition to the two-way form of communication that it provides as a response to the long tradition of one-way communication that exists in, for example, poetry and other practices of published literature. Yes, and so we consider it in some ways radical or revolutionary in its ability, right? In its ability to self-transform, and it is perhaps a response to a definition of meta-poetics that simply means a poetry that refers to itself. A poem, say, can be about poetry, about either the individual's act of writing the poem, or the history of poetry, or a combination of being self-reflective on the patterns, being aware of the way that the language is put together, etc., etc., etc. And that definition of meta, as in meta-poetics or meta-whatever, is meta as self-reflective, referring to itself. Yes, indeed, and we'll look at that later. But one of the reasons that, and look, here I am performing, and here I am talking about performance. In a way, you could say that's meta-performative, right? And that's completely to the point, because what we'll find when we look at the space-time travel communication coordinates for today is that, in fact, there is a possible way of interpreting the coordinate as a request for a discussion of what meta means in relationship to poetics and or performance. And then we can go on and say, if all of that's going on, what about performativity? And what's the difference between performativity and performance? And is there such a thing as meta-performativity, either in the J.L. Austin sense, in how to do things with words? For example, Donald J. Trump, who we wish to talk about much less often than we have in the past, because it's becoming tedious. It's becoming tedious that the American public wishes to have a fascist emperor or president and or whatever else that the authoritarian dictatorship of fascism entails. And we'll try to avoid talking about that particular individual as often as we have in the past. However, today I'll make a passing reference to the Performative Speech Act of renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And of course, this is a performative act because it changes the name of a thing, and it does so through words. Whether those words are spoken or whether those words are written down on paper is a performative, right? In the sense of J.L. Austin's performativity, as in the sense of how to do things with words. Now, hold on just a second. I think I may need to back up here. I'm running out of space. I know everyone wants to see me. Turkey! So we're going to rewind so that you can watch me talking about myself. And also talking about meta, and talking about performance, and talking about performativity. Yes. And why is all that? Well, we've kind of jumped the gun a little bit, but let's take a look at those space-time travel communication coordinates in our stochastic intelligence system, okay, of communication. And here we have a 3, and a 1, and a 4, and a 5, and a 4. Okay, let's not worry about that last 4. Of course, there are a lot of ways of looking at this number. We could look at it as 3-1. We could look at it as 31-4. We could look at it as 31... did I say 31-4? Yes, I did. We could look at it as 31-45. We could look at it as 314-5, etc., etc., etc. But what I would like to look at it today as... So we are looking at this number, this stochastic... well, let's just call it space-time travel communication coordinate number act, and we're looking at it as if it were, yes, an intentional act of communication. Now, that's what makes it stochastic, isn't it? We don't know whether it's an intentional act of communication or not. Just like when Rudy Giuliani says, all those things that inspire terrorism. Well, we don't know whether he intended to inspire the terrorism or not, did we? Maybe he's just a creepy guy that likes to say all those kinds of creepy things. And the fact that it inspired terrorism and those poor women that he accused of cheating, which of course they did not, then had to suffer through all this. Well, you can always say, well, I didn't intend that. I didn't intend to do that. And the indeterminacy is what makes it stochastic. So this is a different kind of stochastic because it doesn't involve terrorism. It involves communication, which we much prefer here at a contract MV2 theta. Otherwise, I would never have agreed to become the stochastic, the head and or chief head and or head chief of the Stochastic Intelligence Agency, because I'm not interested in promoting and encouraging terrorism as some people are in the government. Yes, okay, so let's just take it as 31-45. Okay, so let's try that. All right, now let's go to the we're gonna go to the space-time travel communication coordinates sets, and so you won't be able to see me anymore, but I hope we can come back to so that you can observe the way that I move my head back and forth as I speak and such stuff as that. All right, okay, here we go. I'm a kind of talking head, right? I'm a kind of meta-performative talking head at this time, and I was talking about meta-performativity in terms of what that might mean in the J.L. Austin sense, with Trump, who's changing the names of things as a kind of speech act. And I suppose meta-performativity would be something like being self-conscious of the way that you change those names if you're looking at it as self-reflective, but we could say maybe it's transformative. Okay, so maybe you could name to your cabinet individuals who have the power of performativity. And you could say, Leon Mosquito is my new head of economics and Dogecoins and cryptocurrency and landing on the Martian moon, or landing on Mars, or whatever it is, and building underground tunnels, and he has the power of performativity through language to change the physical events in the world. So you say, okay, so can human beings survive on Mars? And then we'll go to Trump, and he says, I'm going to perform a performativity. I'm going to name Leon Mosquito as a performative officer in my court of fascist magical happenings and namings, and say, what would you like to change today, Leon Mosquito? Leon Mosquito says, from now on, everyone shall be able to survive the radiation and extreme temperatures of Mars, and so it is, because I said it. I guess that would be meta-performative. And or if Leon Mosquito said, from now on, Dogecoins and those little dogs shall be the only currency of the United States of America. I suppose that would be meta-performative in a certain way, and then he could put his picture on the coins. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the space-time travel communication coordinate set and see what we're looking at with 3145. Yes. And this will be the even more complex set of space-time travel communication coordinates, formerly known as the complex set of space-time travel communication coordinates. Here we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to count. So as you know, between the top and the bottom, if we place this just right, we have 36 units. So there's the top. There's the bottom, placed just right. So let's count up. 31. That's 36 minus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we are at Chrome. And here we are. In advance of a broken arm, because it's a lot of snow out there. Well, not snow, but it's very cold out there today. And I'm sure in some places there is a lot of snow. So in advance of a broken arm, we did the work, and we found the coordinate even before we began the discussion. Here we are. And if this doesn't quite fit anymore, Mr. Appletosh, because we had to reinstall the program, and it seemed to have changed. But trust me, that's the bottom, and that's 18 units. That's 18. Trust me again, that's the bottom, and so that's 36 units. So 36, how to get to, let's go back to that, there I am again. Let's go back to that number. It was 45. There's the 4, there's the 5. All right then, let's count down. 36 plus 9 equals 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, okay, here it is, perfume metal. And now you'll understand what we were talking about with the meta-performative and the meta-performance and all of that stuff. Okay, so here we go. So if you take the U, correct? You got that? Taking the U, and you subtract 3, right? Take the U and you subtract 3. So U as a number is 21. Subtract 3 from 21, and what do you get? You get 18, and that's R. Okay, you got the R, and then you got 3 extra. Okay, so let's go over here to this one, the last letter. That's an L, and if you take that as a number, that number L in metal is 12. And if you add the 3 that you subtracted from the U to the 12, what do you get? What do you get? You get 15, correct? Yes, and 15 is O. So we took the L away from the middle, and we transformed the U into an O and an R. Performed, okay? Performed, yeah. So, okay, what's left over here? Meta! Yes, meta! Meta-performed. Okay, so that's what I was thinking of. Meta-performed, meta-performance. Me, performing me as me, and being self-conscious of the performance. And consider this, I perform in the guise of a chicken, but only because that's the only memoji available that's even close to a turkey. But I'm not a chicken, I'm a turkey, and I'm performing, with this chicken face. And calling attention to that is meta in a certain way. Okay, so we have meta-performed. That's how we got there. That's why we're talking about this. This is what we do here at a contract in P through theta in the Stochastic Intelligence Agency. Right? Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to me. Oh, okay. Here we are. Oh, I want to start again. There I am. Okay. Meta-performed. Okay, so let's consider what this might mean. Okay, like as I said, and I've discussed a contract in P through theta has discussed this before. That this idea of meta-performance and meta-performativity relies pretty much on this one, right? This one use of the expression meta. But in fact, meta can mean a lot of different things. And we mean to be meta-poetic here in ways that transcend, if I can be so arrogant and self-serving, the merely self-reflective. Okay? Alright, so let's go over here. I'm gonna open up another window. No, don't be startled. Here it comes. Here comes the window. I'm going to open it up. Are you ready? There it is. Okay. So, this is the dictionary. This is the Merriam-Webster dictionary. And here's the word meta. And here, the first definition is the definition that we were discussing, self-referential, right? Explicit self-awareness of itself or oneself as a member of its category, clearly self-referential, meta, self-referential, yes. And so a poetry about poetry or a performance about performance is meta in that sense, right? So, and that's a species of postmodernism being self-referential and, talking about the way maybe a character could perform, in relationship to the supposed author and have, like, for example, what is that one, The Flight of Icarus. Yeah, look it up. That's Raymond Queneau, and you might want to look that up. That's a real interesting display of this particular definition of meta, The Flight of Icarus by Raymond Queneau. Look it up. Check it out. It's funny. It's interesting. It's a good book. It's a novel. Okay, so here we are. But there are, in fact, other definitions. Okay, occurring later, then, or in succession of after. So after, meta could be after. So after poetry, what comes after poetry? Or what comes after the lyric? Or what comes after performance? And particularly, like, if we add the two, and then it goes beyond, right? Okay, situated behind or beyond. So performance in the sense of the beyond performance. Like, for example, a contract in P through theta, when he performed these various situations and positionalities related to the social construction of madness, right? Both within institutions, allowing himself, to spend time in mental institutions and asylums and hospitals, and performing madness on Roosevelt Island, and being situated within these layers of complicated, embedded frameworks of performance and histories of madness. So the asylums on Roosevelt Island, but also in organizations where he was paid as a social worker to participate in whatever the solution to these problems of what's now referred to in the common era, or rather modern era, or perhaps postmodern era, as severe individuals with severe mental illness, which we prefer to merely refer to as how to put it, challenged, right, or challenged, socially challenged, and cognitively challenged in a number of different dimensions. So here's another one, transformation, as in the way that space-time travel communication coordinates are constantly transforming. So if space-time travel communication coordinates are constantly traveling, and they are a form of poetics, they are a different definition of meta, right? Poetics. Is that correct? Yes. They're meta-communicative, self-transforming space-time travel communication coordinates. Okay. Transcending. Yes, transcending. Moving on to another plane or another way of thinking. So, for example, a contract in P through theta is often fond of saying, what we do is so outside the realm of what has been done before that I fear that most individuals simply cannot even see it. They cannot see it. They cannot perceive it. They cannot understand it. Because it is what? Transcendental. The transcendental is often invisible. You don't have to ask Maurice Merleau-Ponty about that. Just use your intuition, okay? Okay, here's another definition. Involving substitution at or characterized by two positions. And then, what's this? In the benzene ring that are separated by one carbon atom. Okay, well, we don't have to get into all the complicated carbon stuff, but if you think about this definition, right? If you think about this definition of meta as corresponding in some way or another to quantum physics and the complex interlacing and interwovenness of relationships between particles, right? That is entailed by, and here we go again. Are you ready? I'm going to open up another window. I hope you're ready. Here it comes. Okay, there it is. As is discussed in this phenomenon of quantum entanglement, right? Which, we've tried to demonstrate, at least metaphorically and allegorically, through these space-time travel communication coordinates that exist in multiple playlists at multiple times and across multiple dimensions of both the complex space-time travel communication coordinate set, which formerly known as the simple space-time travel communication coordinate set, and the even more complex space-time travel communication coordinate set, formerly known as the more complex space-time travel coordinate set. And we've demonstrated that recently, and so we probably don't really need to do that again. But okay, if this definition, right, This one right here, meta, usually used with the name of a discipline to oh no, that's not the one. Involving substitution at or characterized by two positions that are separated by one carbon atom. Well, I mean, we really have to stretch that one. But if you just cross this whole thing out, right? Okay, never mind this one. But you substitute for this definition, this quantum entanglement, right? So we could say A, quantum entanglement, and apparently that you can't use that word that way. But in any case, if you could, then this would be another example of why utilizing the stochastic system of communication and poetics, commonly referred to as space-time travel communication coordinates, is a meta-communicative act, right? A meta-communicative act, yes. So transcending, changing, transforming, situated beyond or behind, that is hidden, it could be hidden or beyond, so it may be just referred to, right? It's not there, it's referred to. It's referred to by a number or something else, but it's still, but you can locate it, you can find it. It's betwixt the between. So all things betwixt the between also are part of this definition of meta, and it really does go beyond, right? Self-reflexivity, if we consider it this way. Okay, so we have a number of considerations here. Meta-performed. Okay, so there is questions of, is the performed a performativity, or is the performed a performance? Performances occur on stage, and but performances can, go beyond the stage, as in a contracted phi through theta performance of madness and mania and all of these various branches of the othered mentality, the othered dimension of cognition that he wanted to explore, or they wanted to explore in this period of time, in which on Roosevelt Island a big business person was converting the old mental institution, the old insane asylum, into luxury apartment buildings. And a contract in phi through theta, performance of madness, began as a criticism and critique of this act that they found offensive, right? And but expanded, and transformed, and was self-transforming in this way, showing an explicit awareness of self. No, in this way, occurring later then, or in succession to after the performance. Then there were other performances situated behind or beyond. Yes, behind or beyond. Is this guy performing, or is this guy really nuts? Is he nuts? He's nuts. Is he crazy? Is he insane? He's a madman? Or is this a performance? And you have to be crazy to perform that way anyway. I mean, that's just nuts. So whether he thinks it's a performance or it's just crazy, it's still crazy, right? Okay, anyway, or maybe not, or maybe that's all performance. Change, transformation, yes, because it was constantly evolving. Oh yes, indeed. And playing out different roles within this complex theater of transformative madness. Yes, and involving substitution or characterized by two positions in the benzene ring. Well, not so much. But what about that quantum entanglement thing? Well, definitely not. Derived by loss of water. I don't think so. Maybe not that one so much. Okay, so meta performance. Okay, so that's meta performance. We talked about meta-poetics and how that is involved in the interpretation and use of space-time travel communication coordinates. What about this other one, meta-performativity? That's really difficult. Now, generally, meta-performativity, as far as we can tell, we looked it up online. There's not a lot of references, but it seems to refer to Miss Judith Butler's definition of performativity as in gender performativity, and we weren't so much interested in that because that is a little bit too close to just performance. But we were more interested in the J.L. Austin sense of performativity as the speech act that transforms things, or who is authorized to transform these things. And we talked a little bit about that already in terms of what it would mean for Trump to continue with these monstrous speech acts and name Leon Mosquito as the self-transforming verbalizer of the world, and then he could say these things. And now we live on Mars, and now we live underground, and now there is no right of the American people to collectively bargain in unions, and all such stuff as this. And Heil Hitler, he seems to have made the Heil Hitler sign, and then I guess that means that we all have to be fascists now. I'm not sure that's a form of verbal communication, but one could say it's para-communicative. Perhaps that little Heil Hitler salute that he made is a para-meta-performative gesture. Do you think that could be? Performative as in performativity, gesture. Heil Hitler, said Leon Mosquito, and so it were, and so it was, and forevermore, and we had no more or less democracy in America. Well, we hope not, but we'll go ahead and see. So is there anything else we need to say about this? That's the quantum entanglement. There's the meta. And here I am again, Turkey, in my meta performance as Turkey, discussing meta performativity, meta performance, and meta poetics. Have a good day. Don't mind the fascist government. Hope we all survive. That's it. Toodaloo. See you next time. Thank you.